Hi friends, welcome back to a new session. In the last video, we just saw dot rotation. Before that, if you see, we started types of magnetic coupling. You please try to watch those videos because in those videos I told, how we have to show. If I want to apply right hand thumb rule, if it is a front end is there, how you have to show for direction of current, how you have to show rapid fingers. Suppose if back end is there, how you have to show your rapid fingers for direction of current. All those things I explained in types of magnetic coupling. Anyway, and one more thing I told, you can assume dots in the beginning end or ending end of a coils. That is our wish. So that we discussed in dot rotation. See, in this discussion, in this video, I am just going to start Lenz's law and what is self-induced EMF and self-inductance, mutual induced EMF and mutual inductance. Before that, see guys, before explaining Lenz's law, you please try to see this figure. This is applied voltage source V1, okay, and this one is the primary winding, because winding which is connected to the source is called primary winding, having number of turns N1. And it's a secondary winding because it is connected to the load. So winding which is connected to the load can be called as secondary winding, here having number of turns N2, okay. And since it is a time variant voltage source, nothing but AC voltage source, I can represent like this, phase and neutral. So for your understanding point of view, it is better if you want, you can take phase as plus and neutral as minus. It's your wish. Generally plus minus means people will think it's DC supply. So then we know that we should not give DC supply to the transformer. It's a A supply only. But phase is assuming as a plus, and neutral terminal is assuming as a minus here. Okay, that's the only thing. Okay. See guys, this is our transformer core having primary winding and secondary winding. Primary winding having number of turns N1, secondary winding having number of turns N2. Is it clear? Now tell me guys, what about this end? What is the name for this end? I can write here. End means it is a front end or back end. I am asking. It's a front end, no? So everybody knows it is a front end. Front end. I already discussed in types of magnetic coupling. Okay, please try to refer that video. Anyway, so if you see, if you take this one as a, if I take this one as a transformer limb, so winding is going from front side of the limb, right? Like this. It is coming from back end, from back side of the limb. Therefore, it's a front end, and I can take this one as a back end. Front end, I can take this one as back end. Similarly here also. So winding is, I just wound it like this. Winding is going from front side of the limb or leg. It is coming like this. It is going from back side of the limb or leg. So I can call this one as front end once again. FE, and I can call this one as back end, okay. And I think I told one more thing also in previous video. So beginning end comma ending end, before that we can assume dots at the beginning end of a coil or ending end of a coil, or is our wish. But which one is beginning end, which one is the ending end is decided by sense of winding, not by direction of current. That is a conclusion I had given in the previous video. Please try to go through that video. And we discussed, I already told, we assumed front end as a beginning end in our discussion, back end as a ending end. Okay. So let me write that point also here. So yes, front end can be assumed as a beginning end, and back end can be taken as ending end. Once again here, front end, beginning end, back end, ending end. And I think one more point I discussed in the previous video. We can assume dots in the beginning end or ending end of coils, our wish. Okay. So let us assume dots at beginning end of coils. Okay. So see in this coil, which one is beginning end? This one. So let me assume dot here. And here which one is beginning end? This one. Let me assume dot here. Is it clear? And everybody knows that in a source always, suppose current, if you see this phase and neutral, always from current enters at a neutral terminal, it leaves from the phase terminal. That everybody knows. Say, suppose if you see this one, yes, a plus minus like this, nothing but phase and neutral, you know, direction of current will be like this, no? That means what? It is entering at a neutral terminal, it is entering at a neutral terminal, it is leaving from a positive terminal, or I can say from phase terminal. Okay, so that's why it is entering at a n terminal, that is it is entering at neutral terminal, or I can say minus. Yes, it is entering like this, it is leaving from a phase terminal, or I can say leaving from a plus. So this is what I can say direction of I mu. Why I mu? Why I am discussing about I mu only? It's very simple, guys. After connecting transformer primary winding to the source, transformer will take a magnetizing current I mu. Why? That name itself suggests. I mu means what? Magnetizing current means it is used to magnetize the transformer core. It is used to magnetize the transformer core, or I can say it is used to produce flux in the transformer core. Okay, so whenever V1 is a time variant or AC, I'll write here, guys, for your understanding. V1 here, it is a time variant voltage source, or I can call this one as AC voltage source. Whenever V1 is a time variant or AC voltage source, current drawn by the transformer I mu is also what? Time variant, or I can say AC, or I can say AC, alternating current. Okay, time variant or AC. Whenever I mu is time variant or AC, flux produced in transformer core is also what? Time variant or AC. Is it clear? Right. Now, guys, suppose if you take this one as a transformer leg or limb, I just wound like this, no? So my winding is going from front side of the leg like this. Okay, that means current is entering at the front end. It's very, please try to understand. It is entering at the front end, leaving from back end. Entering at a front end, leaving from a back end. I am not showing direction of current in back side. Okay, back side means it should be like this, no, like this. Okay, I am just showing direction of current from the front side only. It is coming, it is coming, it is coming like this, it is leaving like this. Okay, this indicates what? This arrow mark indicates direction of I mu from front side only, from front view only. Okay, so it is entering from front end, it is entering here, leaving from back end. Entering at front end, it is leaving from back end. Okay, yes, entering, 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 entering. It is leaving from back side. Yes, it is like this. Please, I'll be explaining this topic very slow, no problem, because a lot of people will be having some confusion here. So I'm just going step by step. First, is it clear, everybody? So whenever V1 voltage is a voltage time variant voltage source, direction of I mu, because of this voltage source you'll get some I mu, right? This is what I mu. So is everybody comfortable with this direction of I mu? Please. Okay, because it is entering at the front side of the coil. Yes, it is entering, leaving at back side, entering, leaving back side, entering, leaving back side, entering, leaving back side, entering, leaving back side. That means I am just showing here entering. This from front side only, I am just showing direction of current from front side is entering, from back side is leaving. That I cannot show. Okay, right. So is it clear, everybody? This is the direction of I mu. This arrow mark, this black color arrow marks indicates direction of current I mu. Is it clear? Now tell me, guys, current is entering at front end, back end here. Think clearly and tell me. It is entering at front end. That means if current is entering at front end, in right hand thumb rule. So for a circular conductor, I told if current is entering, you should show like this. Suppose if current is leaving, you should show like this. Current is entering means you should show like this. Current leaving means you should show it like this. If current is entering at a front end, please try to understand. If current is entering at front end, it should show this rapid finger should be like this. Flux will be upwards. If current is entering at the back end, you should show like this. This rapid finger should be like this, back end. It is entering at back end means it should show like this. Flux will be downwards. Now please see here at the front end current is entering. Therefore front end current entering means you should show rapid fingers like this. Now what about thumb indicates what direction of flux? Yes, so it will be upwards, no? So please be careful. This is direction of what? Tell me, this is what direction of what? This arrow mark, upward arrow mark indicates direction of core flux pi. Okay, it is coming upwards means in the transformer core, in this portion it will be like this. This is pi. Yes, it will be downwards. The secondary winding. Once again, this is nothing but pi. Okay, and here it is like this. I am going very slow, no problem. Please try to understand. This is what I can say direction of core flux pi just shown. So let me repeat once again. V1 is a voltage, time variant voltage source. IMU is a time variant current or AC current. Flux is a time variant or AC current. Okay. Now, in the basics first video, I told in related time variation where conductors are stationary. Yes, in transformer conductors are stationary and magnetic field is time variant. Rate of change of flux linkage will be possible. EMF will be induced. That EMF can be called as statically induced EMF. Okay. So in transformer primary winding, EMF will be induced. That EMF can be called as a statically EMF induced. That everybody knows that. Particularly, that EMF can be called as self-induced EMF, or I can say primary induced EMF. Okay, I can show with the E self or E1. Okay, this is what E self-induced EMF or primary winding EMF. Let me show with E self or E1. E self or E1. Okay. So because of this time varying flux, you are getting in transfer primary winding, E1 will be induced. Why E1 will be induced? Because E1 proportional to rate of change of flux linkage. Flux linkage is what? N pi. You are discussing about EMF induced primary winding. Therefore, you should take number of turns also. N1 you should take because primary winding having number of turns N1. Is it clear, guys? Everybody? Right. Now let me study this statement. Be careful. It's very simple Lenz law, but a lot of people will be having some confusion. So please try to see clearly. Time varying flux. Okay, please see everybody. I am going very slow. Time varying magnetic flux. Yes, time varying magnetic flux. Time varying magnetic flux. Linking a coil. So let us first of all let me discuss about primary winding. Then I'll go for secondary winding. Time varying magnetic flux linking primary winding having number of turns N1. Okay. Linking coil induces an EMF. Induces E1. Induces EMF in the coil. Is it clear? Full stop. Next, guys. After EMF E1 is induced, if coil circuit is closed, when the coil circuit is closed, yes, what about this circuit? It's closed, no? It's closed. When the coil circuit is closed, a current begins to flow in the coil. So don't say current means don't say this one I mu. Okay, this is what I because of V1 I got I mu, because of I mu I got pi, because of this pi I got E1 primary winding, because of this E1. Now please see, because of this E1 we will get a current. Let me take different color. Because of the E1 we will get a current Ix. What is that? Ix. Yeah. When the coil circuit is closed, a current begins to flow in the coil. What is that current? Ix. Yes. Explain. Next. The direction of this induced current, the direction of this Ix or induced EMF or this E1, direction of induced current Ix or induced EMF E1 is given by Lenz law. Very simple. Is given Lenz law. Is it clear, guys? Time varying magnetic flux. Whenever applied voltage is time variant, current taken by the transformer is I mu. It's a time variant. Then what is the flux produced in transformer core? Time variant. So now let me start the Lenz law statement. Whenever time varying flux pi links with a coil, links with the primary winding having number of turns N1, EMF will be induced in primary winding, E1 proportional d by dt of N1 into pi. So when the coil circuit is closed, because of this E1, we will get some current Ix. That current Ix is nothing but I am writing here, that current I am writing it as Ix. Direction of this Ix or direction of this E1 is given by Lenz law. So tell me what about Lenz law? That here has given clearly here. According to this law, according to Lenz law, direction of, this term is very important, according to Lenz law, direction of induced current means what here? Direction of Ix develops, direction of induced current, according to this law, induced current develops a flux. So because of this current Ix flowing in the primary winding, you will get some flux. That flux can be called as pi x once again. Okay. So according to the Lenz law, the induced current develops a flux pi x, which always opposes the change responsible for inducing this current. Tell me guys, so this pi x is opposing somebody. Who is that somebody? Very simple. This pi x will oppose somebody. Okay, that some person is responsible for getting this current. Tell me here, who is the responsible for getting this current Ix? E1. E1 is because of which one? Pi. That means this pi x opposes this pi. Very simple thing. I can write here. So this pi and this pi x I can say opposes. Is it clear guys? According to Lenz law. According to Lenz law. According to Lenz law. According to Lenz law. Yes, this pi x opposes this pi. That means what? So if pi is this black color flux is upwards, what might be the direction of pi x here? See, pi x opposing pi means what? Whenever pi x opposes this core flux pi means, here see in this portion, this pi is upwards. Now what about pi x should be? Pi x should be what? Downwards. Since pi x opposing pi, pi is upwards here, arrow mark, this black color upwards. Now pi x should be downwards. This is what I can say, pi x should be downwards. Is it clear? Downwards means yes, see, it should be like this, which is opposing core flux. Okay, right. Now once again, yes, it is opposing core flux. I can write here pi x. Okay, yes, it is opposing what I can say, core flux. I can write pi x. Is it clear guys? Very simple thing I am asking. Okay, so according to this law, induced current Ix develops a flux pi x, which always opposes the change responsible for inducing this current. Who is responsible for getting this current Ix? E1. Who is responsible for getting this E1? Pi. Therefore this pi x will oppose this pi. Yes, that's it. Now you tell me guys, I am asking very simple question. Now I am just going to decide the polarity of this E1 and direction of this current Ix. So everybody knows that after Ix only you will get pi x. Whenever current flows in a winding, then only you will get flux, no? But see here, first of all I am just showing directly pi x. I am not showing there Ix, no? Because for your understanding, suppose if I say pi x and pi are opposing, yes, directly I can show like this, I can draw like this, no? But to be frank, before getting this pi x, first of all Ix was flowing. That you should understand. Before pi x got, Ix was flowing the circuit. That is very important. Okay, now tell me guys, if I want in this section, in this portion, if pi x is downwards, in right hand thumb rule, if pi x is downwards, in right hand thumb pi x is downwards, so in what direction your Ix might have flown? Because after getting Ix only you will get pi x, no? After getting Ix only you will get pi x, yes or no? So if I say pi x is here downwards, according to Lenz law, it should oppose your pi. Whenever pi is like this, pi x should be downwards. That directly I wrote, okay, simply because according to Lenz's statement, if pi is upwards, pi x should be downwards. That simply I kept. Okay, it is downwards. Pi x is downwards. Red color flux is downwards. If pi x should be downwards means in what direction Ix, who is responsible for getting this pi x, might have flown. See, if I need pi x like this, Ix might have entered at the back end of the coil. If I show like this, right, wrap your fingers, that means what? This Ix is entering at the back end of the coil. Tell me guys, where back end is there for this coil? It is a front end, it's a back end. That means it is entering here. Okay, see, if I take this one as a transformer core leg, it is entering at a back end, entering at back end, leaving from it is entering at back side, right? It is entering at back side and entering at back side, leaving from front side. That means entering at back side, leaving from front 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 side. Yes, this is what I can say, IX. This is a green color, nothing but what here? IX. Please try to understand. This IX is going like this. It is entering. It is entering at the back side, leaving at front side, entering at back side, leaving at front side, entering at back side, leaving at the front side, like this. Okay. This arrow marks indicates direction of IX at the front side only. See, at the back side is entering. Arrow mark should be like this, no? That I cannot show. From back side means I am not showing, okay? It is entering at back side, leaving at front side. Leaving at front side, it should be like this. This only I am just showing here. Is it clear? Right. Now, yes, I got direction of IX. It is entering at back end. It is entering at back side. It's coming like this. This is direction of IX. Is it clear, guys? Okay, very good. Right. Now tell me, guys, very simple question I am asking. Please don't confuse. Very simple question I am asking. So whatever you discussed here, same thing I am just drawing once again here. See, this is what? This phase, no? Nothing but plus, no? Plus, neutral, nothing but minus. What of this voltage? V1. Yes. Next. What is the direction of I mu here? It should be like this. Okay. Now please, this entire portion I am asking, please be careful, guys. I am asking about this portion. This entire portion can be taken as source. Can I take this entire portion as a source? Yes or no? Please tell me. Can I take this entire portion as source having voltage E1? Yes, I can take. See, this entire portion only I am just taking it as a source. Voltage how much? E1. And now tell me, very simple. If I consider this one as this primary winding as source, see, it is entering at back side, leaving at front side, entering at back side, leaving at front side, entering at back side, leaving at front, like current is going like this, no? Yes sir. That means it is entering downwards, it is going upwards. Please try to understand. It is entering at downside. Simply it is going like this. So it is entering at a downside, going upside. Okay. So everybody knows that source means wherever current is entering, that can be taken as what? Wherever current is entering, that can be taken as a neutral, or I can say minus. Yes, this is nothing but minus. And what about this one? Plus. Nothing but very simple. In this primary winding, to be frank, this portion I can draw. Simply. This primary winding, I can draw this portion. Okay. If you are having confusion, so don't draw this E1 here. You will be having some confusion. Let me draw separately here. Yes. Plus, minus. What is the voltage? E1. And here current is entering. What is the current? This one, IX. From plus it is leaving, IX. Yes, I can show this IX here. It is entering at a minus. It is leaving from plus. It is coming like this. Okay, guys. So please let me erase this one. You will be having some confusion otherwise, because I just drawn this E1 separately. No problem. Yeah. Okay, this one can be taken as source. That source I am assuming I am just writing here. Okay, now tell me, guys, what is the relation I can write between V1 and E1 in primary side? So there is a simple conclusion. Okay, so tell me, in primary side, V1 bar equal to E1 bar minus E1 bar? That question I'm asking. So according to circuit theory, see, plus, this was plus, no, plus minus, and see, I had taken this one as source, no, in this source, you know, this one is minus, this end is nothing but minus end, this one, and opposite is but positive end, right? Plus minus V1 E1, okay? Plus minus E1, V1 is V1, it is E1. Simply you write V1 equals to E1 bar. That is according to circuits, that is okay, but you should write here minus symbol. Why I should write this minus symbol? That's question. Why I'm just showing this minus symbol here? This is because of Lenz's law. Because of Lenz's law. Here only people are confusing. Very simple. Simply we can explain like this. Why I'm writing this minus symbol? See guys, this because of this E1 we are getting current Ix, which is opposing your I mu. Please be careful. Please try to see this portion. Here I mu and Ix are opposing. Please try to see this. This I mu and Ix are opposing. That opposition only, that in this E1 is opposing this V1, or I can say this Ix is opposing this I mu. See, tell me, can you please tell me, because of Ix, what is the flux you are going to have? Because of Ix, what is the flux you are going to have? Pi x. Okay. And because of this I mu, what is the, you know, what is the flux you are going to have? Because of I mu, I'm getting pi. Yes. I already told, according to Lenz's law, this pi x will oppose this pi. Yes, see, nothing but pi x opposing pi, you can say, or Ix opposing I mu also you can say. Because of Ix only you are getting this pi x. Because of I mu only you are getting this pi. Is it clear? Therefore, this opposition has to be indicated in the equation. That is very important. According to Lenz's law, this pi x opposing pi and Ix opposing I mu, that should be indicated mathematically in this equation. So for that only we are indicating here minus symbol. Minus symbol is used to indicate that the pi x opposes pi or Ix opposes this I mu. That opposition has to be indicated in the equation. That's why we are showing minus symbol here. So please guys, in primary side you should write V1 bar equals to minus E1 bar. Don't write V1 bar equals to E1 bar. That is wrong. V1 bar equals to E1 bar is correct according to circuit theory. According to field theory, you should show Lenz's law concept. Nothing but yes, whenever voltage is connected, I will get I mu. Because of the I mu, you will get flux. Because of this pi, you will get E1. Because of this E1, you will get Ix. Because of this Ix, you will get pi x. This pi x opposing pi or Ix opposing I mu, that should be indicated in the equation. So which is possible by showing here minus symbol. Okay. So that's why if you might have seen any textbook, they will write V1 bar equals minus E1 bar. That minus is because of Lenz's law. Is it clear? There is a conclusion. Is it clear? Yeah. Next. What about in secondary side, guys? Same thing I am asking secondary side. So you know, load voltage can be shown with V2 simply. Load voltage can be shown with the V2. Here people are confusing. Please be careful. Here primary side V1 bar equals minus E1 bar is correct statement. Okay. Tell me in secondary side I am asking. So once again repeat please. Whenever voltage source V1 is connected, yes, this V1 is time variant or I can say AC, okay, and because of this V1 you'll get I mu, okay, this I mu is also time variant or I can say AC, okay, because of this I mu you'll get a core flux pi, this pi is also time variant or I can say AC, okay, this pi comes and links with the primary winding, this already explained it. So it links with the primary winding, you will get EMF E1. That I already explained. I am discussing about secondary winding. Okay. This core flux pi coming and links with the secondary winding having number of turns N2. Therefore here E2 will be induced. That E2 can be called as statically induced EMF. Since it is induced in the secondary winding, that EMF can be called as a mutually induced EMF or secondary winding EMF. Okay. E2 proportional to what? D by dt of N2 into pi. Is it clear? Now guys, Because of this E2, so I got E2 here. So we got induced EMF E2 here. This E2 is induced in a secondary side. That is okay. And tell me, if circuit is closed, yes, it is closed because I connected load here, so circuit becomes closed. So whenever circuit is closed, because of this E2, we will get some current. Let me indicate that current as what? Let me use some different color. We'll be having some clear understanding. Because of this E2, you will get current IY flowing in secondary winding. Okay. Because of this IY, you'll get some flux pi y. So once again same. So let me see this statement. Time varying flux. Yes, time varying flux. Linking with a coil, linking with a secondary coil, having number of turns N2, induces an EMF in the coil, induces EMF in the secondary winding. Okay, when the coil circuit is closed, yes, when the coil circuit is closed, a current begins to flow in the coil. Current nothing but IY begins to flow in the coil. The direction of this induced current, direction of IY or induced EMF or E2 is given by Lenz's law. According to this law, the induced current, nothing but IY, develops a flux, yes, pi y, which always opposes the change responsible for inducing this current. Tell me who is responsible for getting this IY? E2. Who is responsible for getting this E2? Once again pi. So this pi y will oppose, pi y will oppose what here? This pi. This is what I can say, opposes pi. So according to Lenz's law, okay, according to Lenz's law. Now tell me guys, if you want to show direction of pi y, for that what you should see? You should see direction of pi, okay, black color. It is downward here, so it should be what direction of pi y should be pi. Core flux is downwards here, it should be upwards, right? Simple, pi y. So right, it is upwards, opposing your pi, okay. Once again opposing your pi. This is what I can say, pi y. Okay, pi y. Is it clear guys? Okay. Now tell me, if I want, see, you please try to understand what is the direction of pi y I got in this section, upwards or downwards? I am saying, please try to see green color, upwards or downwards? Upwards. If I need pi y should be upwards like this. So because of when you will get pi y, whenever IY is coming, then only you will get pi y, no? So if I want pi y should be upwards, for that IY, so tell me, if I want pi y should be upwards, tell me in what direction IY might have flown. Once again, might have flown. It is entering at back end of the coil. If I need pi y upwards, so if I need pi y upwards, this green color, so IY might have entered at back end of the coil. If I show like this, back end. If I show like this, is the front end. Okay. So it might have entered at back end of the coil. So tell me where back end is there here. So where back end is there? This back end, no? It is entering at back end of the coil. This is what I can say, direction of IY. It is entering. Suppose if I take this one as a transformer core leg, okay, it is entering at back end, leaving at front end. Entering back end, leaving at front end. Front end, front end, front end, front end, front end, front end, front end. Yes, this is what direction of IY. Okay. Everybody knows that current always flows from phase to neutral at load. This is nothing but load, not source. Okay, it is always, current is always flowing from a phase to neutral. So here IY is coming like this. That means what? Current always flows from phase to neutral. This is phase, and this is what I can say, neutral. Nothing but I can take phase as plus, I can take neutral as minus. Is it clear? Now please guys, once again I'm asking, please consider this secondary winding entire thing as a source. Please consider this entire thing as a source and tell me. I'm asking about this one. If I take this one as a source, okay, like I taken this one as even as source, no, I just show like this. Like this, please let me show this one as a source. Okay, So now tell me, if I take this one E2 as a source, yes, it is a E2, and tell me guys, where current is entering? Please try to see. It is entering at back side. It is entering at back side, leaving from front side. No, like this. Current is entering at back side, leaving at the front side. Current is going like this, upwards. That means current is going from bottom to top. Current is entering from back side. It's leaving at front side, entering at back side, leaving at front side, entering at back side, leaving at front side. It is current is going like this. It is going like this. Okay. Now I should show here minus symbol, here plus symbol, because everybody knows that in source current always enters at a minus terminal, leaves at a plus terminal. Is it clear? Now yes, this is what direction of everybody knows that this the arrow mark indicates direction of IY. So once again, this arrow mark indicates what? IY. Okay. Now what about here? Here I'm having I'm having only load. I don't have any source here. Okay. This is nothing but load. So plus minus load. Yes, load. It's a load. Okay. It's nothing but voltage V2. Okay guys. Now tell me. Nothing but plus minus. I can show here, or you can show here also, no problem. Okay. Right. Now tell me, here plus is there, minus is there, plus is there, minus is there. Now tell me what is the relation between E2 and V2 in secondary side. So it's a E2 equals to what? E2 bar equal to V2 bar. Don't write minus V2 bar. Why? You may get one doubt, sir. In primary side you wrote now, sir, V1 bar equals minus E1 bar. Then why you are not asking me to write a minus symbol here? Very simple. In primary side, V1 is source. You are assuming this E1 as the source once again. So because of this V1 source, we are getting I mu current. Because of this E1 source, we are getting Ix, which is opposing this I mu. To show that opposition mathematically, I am just showing minus symbol here. But in this side, because of this E2 source, we are getting current Iy, that is okay. And do we have any source here? No, we are having load. Okay, if suppose if source is there, then that source will give some current, like E1 is giving Ix. Is it clear? But here I am having load. Therefore, I don't have any direction of I don't have any current here because of this voltage source V2. Therefore, there is nobody who is opposing your Iy. So simply you should write E2 bar equals to V2 bar. So what is the conclusion, guys? In the primary side, V1 bar equals to minus E1 bar is correct. It's very important. In the secondary side, E2 bar equals to V2 bar. It is not minus V2. Okay, is also important. Okay, so please try to remember these two statements. Okay, ideally in primary side we can write V1 bar equals to minus E1 bar. Ideally in secondary side we can write E2 bar equals to V2 bar. Is it clear? Okay, right. Now please note down all those things. See, I think we in this video we discussed Lenz's law. And what about E self, L self, E mutual, M? E self means what here? Self-induced EMF. What is other name for E self? Primary winding. So it can be represented with E self or E1. So, and what about E mutual? Secondary EMF. Okay, so secondary EMF can be represented with E mutual or simply E2. Okay. So, what about E self? What do you mean by L self? What do you mean E mutual? What is M mutual inductance? All those things we'll discuss, okay, in the next video. Okay, please try to note on this one.